That's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hello. The tweet is up. Thank you, Glenn. I hope we're not having crazy technical difficulties like we did last week. Because on my end it seemed choppy, but when you listen back it was horrible and it split the show into pieces and it was garbage. Thank you, Skype. What's up, Glenn?
Happy another year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year. Oh, Canadian New Year for you.
What's that mean? It's spelled different?
I don't know. You're the Canadian. You tell me.
I don't even know what you're talking about, eh?
There you go. So, no, yeah, last week's show was all fucked up, man. Fingers crossed this one's going to be all right. So I lowered my volume a little, so hopefully I'm not peaking. I wasn't peaking last time. It was the Skype, I think, right?
Yep, Skype connection one way or another. Sucked ass, but hey, it's Skype.
Yeah. So last week we we're talking, most people probably won't know because it was such a shitty, you probably can't listen to a couple minutes of it without getting disgusted. But we're talking about this pig William Dorsey Jones Jr. who went up in the Burlington store on a shooting spree trying to shoot an unarmed man with no pants on, hit a bicycle lock, and he was beating some people up, evidently, allegedly. And those people were away, and he was running away with no pants on, and this pig shot him. And in the process of trying to murder this unarmed guy, he shot through a wall, killing that 14-year-old girl that was in there with her mom. And so we talked about all that, and everyone knows what happened with that. But then over the last week, I noticed a few things. The police union is now backing this pig, like he did nothing wrong. And you have a whole slew of news articles, and written and otherwise, even on the radio, talking about he feels so bad. He was a champion for police community relations or anti-racist policing or something. Just all this good stuff about him. And like I said before the show, what gangbanger gets that kind of PR when they murder a 14-year-old girl?
Well, you know, the thing about it is it's not just that it's so blatantly pro-police and ignoring innocent victims again, but the thing that really gets me is in the 48 hours after this happened, there was stuff out there. People were talking about it, about how this guy was told at the scene to settle the fuck down. And
it's
he wouldn't.
Video.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that just blows me away is it's not that they've managed to suppress damning evidence. It's already out there, but yet they're just ignoring it like it doesn't exist. That's the thing that's really, you know, that's the what the fuck moment right there. Yep. You know what this you know what this is like? This is like General Schwarzkopf with his pointer stick showing you video from what they're bombing in Iraq. It's the same goddamn bullshit. Yeah, but the concept is exactly the same. Never mind what fucking goes on. Look, we're going to show you this and tell you this is what goes on. And then, we had WikiLeaks, and gee, I guess he didn't show us everything. Yep. Yep. Yeah. No, he's a token. He's a fucking token. That's what he was. And now he fucked that up. Yeah. So, that's the thing. Every police department has their poster boy minority officer. Like it's just part of the toolkit, man. That's the role that this guy was in for his division or whatever. And he went and fucked it up. So of course, since they made him that token, of course they're going to back him to the wall, because anything less than that is an admission. And they're cops. They don't admit to anything, ever. Yeah, that's a pretty obscene way to pad your resume, but seems to work in their world. Seems to work in their world somehow. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is all these dickheads that are on police commissions that actually get to pick people for these jobs, like chief of police. They must look at that as some sort of like being in a MASH unit during a war or something, like, oh, well, he's had to do this before, so, I just don't understand how that helps. But yeah, yeah. Well, like I said in that show last week, where did these guys learn how to do this and be comfortable with it? In the U.S. Army, in Iraq. Well, there's 2 guys in this house. Okay, well, let's get 2 helicopters, 6 armored fucking vehicles full of guys. We'll take 30 troops if we're rounding up 2 guys. That's just a day at the office. In the Army, for, this counter-terror coin fucking bullshit. And now it's come home.
My headphones just did some weird thing. Do you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't hear myself for a minute, and I heard myself again, so I hope I didn't drop out or something. Yeah, it's insane. The force they use for simple. I mean, you've seen some of the videos I've shot where they have 7 cops for one unarmed woman.
Yep.
Guns drawn for some dude having a mental crisis, unarmed. They're just brutal. They're trained to kill first and it'll be okay.
Yep. And like I said, where did they learn that? In Iraq.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the stories you hear about all these guys that work for shit like Blackwater and Academy. That's the way they are. They don't like the looks of somebody, they fucking shoot them.
Yeah, I just seen this cop on a motorcycle. He had his shotgun maxed out with a scope and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, what do you need a scope on this thing for?
On a motorcycle.
They have the shotguns on the back of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
I was like, usually it's just like a pistol grip or something like that. This one was all maxed out with all kinds of accessories. Like, what's the purpose?
It's his penis.
I bet it's cool. Like all the other cops are like, ooh, look at him. Look at his shotgun. We just got the standard issue. He went all out with it.
Like I said, man, that's his penis.
I guess. With a scope.
Whatever, I mean, it doesn't make any sense because shotguns are made, depending on how you set the choke, they're meant to hit shit that's in front of you, not necessarily one specific spot. So to put a scope on a scatter weapon is like, what? But, whatever. It's cool. Maybe it's a laser pointer, too.
I use those. He might have one. I don't know. Those things are tiny. You can't really see them unless I got the light on them.
It's probably an IR scope for a shotgun.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Them pigs are way out. Yeah, like we said last week, too. Like, you talk about all these ghost guns and illegal guns people have. I guarantee you, if you took the police and did it, ran some statistics against the rest of the population and aren't cops, they'd probably have, and could find a way to do it, they'd probably have more illegal guns per person than the whole the whole population other than them.
Well, they certainly have access to more of them than anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe they don't have illegal guns. They have, all their cars are illegal. They have illegal tents, no license plates. Some of them no license plates whatsoever. See, in California now they do paper plates. Like, if you don't have your plate, it used to be you could just have the dealer name and you have no plates.
Yeah.
Or they put something in the window or whatever. Now they got paper plates you're supposed to have. These cops don't even have that.
Well, they don't have to.
Yeah. But they pull you over for not having that.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know.
different.
I need to call the police. That's the problem with jurisdiction. Maybe I should call the sheriffs and be like, I found a lot with all these vehicle infractions. I don't know. I think they're up to some kind of crooked, shady stuff up in there, and just take them to the LAPD lot.
Somehow I think they've got that worked out.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what's going to happen. It went to the Attorney General with this William Dorsey Jones Jr. pig. I think they're going to... I think he's going to get off, maybe. I hope I'm wrong, but this is LA.
Well...
They don't hold pigs accountable in LA.
No, they don't. That's kind of, what history shows. But every once in a while, somebody pays more than the usual. I mean, yeah, nobody ever gets convicted for murder. But, every once in a while, one of them fuckers has got to pay more than the standard price. Maybe it's Token's turn. It depends how loud it gets, too. How much do they need to quiet it down?
It's going to die out. Everything dies out. They know that. No matter what kind of crazy injustice happens, eventually, in a few weeks, a news cycle shifts. Some people are still on it. And other people are like, oh, I forgot about that.
Well, the only thing...
I remember.
The only thing that keeps it up front is if it goes on. And that's not beyond the LAPD. I mean, they had one hell of a 2021, blowing up neighborhoods, killing people. Wow, that's a banner year.
And the chief's on vacation. I hope he comes back and resigns. That ain't gonna happen, though.
Fuck.
He's like, I'm not going over there. There's too much scandalous stuff going on. I'm going to stay in another country.
He's probably in Israel getting some high-level training.
Didn't he arrest somebody in France? Like, who gives you the jurisdiction to arrest somebody in another country? Who are you? You're just some dumb American.
He's watching too much TV.
I am the law.
Yeah, fous-toi. Well, whatever. I mean, get you some clicks or something, I guess. Who knows? Fuck.
They should have arrested him for impersonating a French police officer. I don't know if that's a crime there, but if it is, they should have arrested him for it.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm just curious if now Villanueva is going to feel like he's got to reestablish himself as the lead gang in the area after what LAPD's been doing. Is there anything new around Venice? Like, is the sheriff still all over it down there, or what?
When I'm through there, I see him not as much as I did for a while when they were eliminating people from there. But the laws are changing. They're making it so they can eliminate people from everywhere easily. Just push them out somewhere else. Like we said before, and then they go into people's neighborhoods, and these rich people get all mad. Like, why are they in our neighborhoods? Because you didn't want them on the street, and y'all refused to let them be housed.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're going to go where they can go. Wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, what choice do these people have, for Christ's sake? I mean, that's the other thing here right now. I mean, on Sunday we had one day where it got relatively close to the freezing mark. And that's it. Right back into the deep freeze. So this is an extended cold snap, especially for the end of the year. I mean, it's usually colder here at the end of January into February. That's when it can get really cold.
Do a lot of houseless people die in Canada from the weather every year?
Not as many as there used to be.
Because here that's an epidemic.
Well, the issue here is when it gets to like minus 40 overnight, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're outside more than a couple minutes with exposed flesh, you're going to get frostbite. You know, so I mean, that's something that can happen to anybody. You lock yourself out of your car, it could fucking kill you in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know? I mean, it doesn't take much. So there was a lot of backlash about quit letting these people die on our fucking streets. Open some stuff. Some heated spaces. We're not saying you have to give them a buffet. Just fucking open the place up so they don't freeze on the street. And they seem to have figured it out that for whatever it costs them, they make out better with not having all the bad press all the time. But still, every year, I mean, it's already been in the news here. There's a couple cops kicking 4 or 5 people out of a train station when it's minus 32 outside. You know, like, just fucking leave them alone, man. They're cold.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's always somebody with a badge and a gun who, you know, knows better.
Needs to justify their job somehow and get those quotas. At least that's how it is here.
I mean, it's not like they ran any of them. It's not like any of them got arrested. There's no crime. It's just go outside because I said so. Like, it's fucking stupid. So, you know, I mean, still, there are going to be, you know, people that will die over these couple weeks. And good luck trying to find reports of it anywhere. Maybe if you go on the police website, you might see something, you might not. You could maybe go to the coroner's website. That's probably the only place you're going to find out. You know.
Yeah, we got like the best weather in this country, and it's cold here. Like, it's really cold. A few nights last week, it was raining and really, really cold. I mean, compared to freezing, it wasn't cold at all. But for here, in LA, it was cold. And there's people out there, man, just in the weather. It's ridiculous. There's people on the streets living in tents, and they're building these high-rise luxury apartments all over the place. $3,000, $6,000 a month.
Like, who's going to fill these places, man?
That's what I'm saying. We should find a way to commandeer them.
Well, you know what happened in Berlin not too long ago.
You talking about taking over that mansion of the footballer dude?
They took over.
Was that England or London or someplace?
Now that was in the UK, but in Berlin it was part of the city election. They had like a plebiscite type thing. And in Berlin, they voted to just expropriate a whole shitload of privately owned apartment buildings and stuff like that. They just took them away from the people who own them, and they're turning it into public housing.
That's good. I mean, I don't know there, but here, a lot of these places are owned by these big companies, these managed financial companies and investing firms, and a lot of them are from overseas, and they just buy up tons and tons of blocks of property.
Yep.
And then turn them into luxury apartments or rent them out as houses for crazy, insane prices. And it's stupid, man. I don't know why people are allowed to do that. It boosts up the prices of everything. Rent, house, everything. Everything goes up.
Yeah, but the entire real estate industry loves that shit.
But you got people that can't afford to live in their own neighborhoods anymore. Where are they going to go? Now we're back to putting more people into tents. We're trying to go the other route, get people out of tents.
Oh, I know, but the people who are calling the shots are playing a different game.
Yeah, but we need to squash that shit somehow.
Yeah, and I mean, this is Germany. This is supposed to be one of the premier democracies anywhere in the world, blah, blah, blah. And, capitalism, yay. NATO, all the right clubs. Gets their pictures taken with all the right people. But yet in Berlin, the people voted to just seize property. The people who didn't need it were hanging on to, and they just took it, and they're going to get people off the streets.
Yeah, that's one of the big right-wing talking points, is they're going to seize the property and take all your properties and this and that. Not that they're going to take from some super rich companies that are hoarding all these properties and give it to people. Like, they're going to make people live in your yards and make you lease out rooms to people and.
Yeah, but this is part of the American tradition of the corporation being represented as an individual in the public discussion.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. But, Citizens United.
Yeah, that needs to. I don't know why they haven't repealed. I know why they haven't repealed that, but I don't know why we haven't went crazy that they haven't repealed that.
It's the nonstop cavalcade of fun.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We should not have people being able to hoard money, and we should not have people being able to hoard property, especially where you got people living in the streets with nothing. Why the hell does anybody need billions of dollars? I can't think of a reason.
Outside individualistic? No. There are, no.
Yeah.
But hey, America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no one should be able to hoard billions of dollars while other people starve. That's disgusting. Anywhere in the world, not just here.
I mean, this is a question that won't get thrown out and listened to for probably another maybe 20 years. But it's like, why exactly did the pandemic go on so long? Well, why exactly did like the top 300 people in the world make $1 trillion in 2 years? Do you think there's any connection here at all, or?
Yeah, they're just the top. A lot of people made a lot of money off of our misery, and it's not over yet. Just Biden's doing Trump less than Trump level nothingness. Actually, I mean, at least that jackass gave us a stimulus, some money, a little bit tiny, not even, a pretty worthless amount of money, but it was something's better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
And shut shit down. Biden's just acting like it's not, it'll all go away magically in a couple months. That's what Biden's acting like.
Well,
and nobody's outraged. Nobody's outraged at all.
Well, the one difference is that if the Republicans had 51 votes in the Senate, they would be ramming everything through that they wanted. 51 to 49. Fuck you. We don't care. Now the Democrats won't. So,
See, in this country, do you know what the parties are? We have a conservative party and we have an ultra conservative party.
No, I know the roles they play, but I mean,
Okay.
this is just so ridiculous in front of everybody. I mean, and yet everybody was like, okay, well, we're going to end the Trump bullshit and we're going to vote blue and they're going to get shit done. Well, when the fuck does it start? Or does it at all?
Dude, I've been taking screenshots of. I might have brought this up last week. I don't remember because I couldn't listen to the show. I couldn't stomach it, but I left it up just in case. But I've been taking screenshots and stuff of all these YouTube, like the Young Turks and the Ring of Fire and Pac-Man, David Pac-Man, and some other one I can't think of. All the the liberal, what they call progressive shows. Every single one of them is Trump, 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 Trump. Like majority of that stuff's talking about what Trump's doing now and Trump's people and Trump did this and Trump that. It's like they that's their bread and butter. That's what makes them the money, I guess.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, it's very rare you'll see something about Biden. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if people weren't watching, they wouldn't be doing it. It's that simple. You know, if there's no market, they're going to change their content because they're there to make money.
You know, people watch him because he looks like a clown, and it's like a train wreck going on constantly, man.
Yeah, but still,
and it's funny. If it wasn't for what he can do and the power he had, it would just be hilarious because he's just a lunatic. But he's not the problem anymore, and they're making it like, oh, Trump's going to do this, Trump's going to do that, Trump, 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 Trump. It's like, God dang, get on to Biden because he's the problem. If Trump comes back into power, we'll worry about him again. But he's gone. He's gone. Who cares what he says? Let him talk all day. Worry about the guy that's screwing us now. He's done screwing us. It's just so ridiculous, man.
Well, I mean,
they got 15 videos and 8 or 10 of them is all Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump said this. You'll never guess what Trump said.
Well, I mean, this is really no different than the methods that a lot of people on the right use. I mean, they're just picking something that they will not shut up about. I mean, how is this really any different than about her emails? They're just making money off it, just like everybody at Fox and everybody else did with the her emails bullshit. It made people a lot of money. That's it.
But they always got socialism and communism to fall back on without having to go into one person. Oh, here's a fun thing. I was looking on Twitter and guess what was trending? Lock them up. So all the blue MAGAs are now chanting, lock them up. They want Trump locked up and his kids or whatever. I mean, I think every living president and all their cohorts should be locked up. So I'm with them on that, but Biden should definitely be locked up too, and Clinton and Obama and Bush, who's still alive, Kissinger, but he wasn't president, but yeah. All those people should be locked up forever.
Well,
those people are criminals, they're terrorists.
But see, what you're saying now is you're saying boycott the league. No, we just want you to boycott one team in the league.
It don't work like that.
But it's supposed to. That's how we set it up.
It's always a sad feeling when you you get a really good weed cartridge, a oil cartridge, and then you hit it and you taste funky and it's like, oh, it's empty.
It's over.
Yeah. I mean, I have another cartridge, but this one was special. It tasted really good. I couldn't get another one. It was Blue Dream.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry, that was a tangent because I just was like, dang, tastes like burnt. Oh, it's empty.
No, that's a valid real-time observation.
Something we've all went through before. Connects us to our audience. You know, it humanizes us.
Yeah, and if there's anybody out there that has smoked Blue Dream or likes Blue Dream, well, then it's like, hey, we're talking to you.
Yeah, then it's even more relevant.
Oh, yeah. That's how you get subscribers, man.
Yeah. And anyone listening, subscribe to People's Radio United on YouTube, because I need 1,000 subscribers so I can stream again. There, we did the promo here.
People's Radio United.
Complete.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, I'm available for hire. $100 an hour. I'll do your commercial just like ours.
$100 an hour.
Yeah, you know the commercial I just played? It seemed like it was off the cuff, but it took me like 6 hours to get that thing done.
Oh, I see. Production costs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I rehearsed a long time for that.
Okay. I trust you.
Oh, man. So, yeah, COVID's going on and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. They're sending kids back to school and kids are getting really sick. We don't want to hurt. We don't want to risk the economy at the expense of saving some lives. That would be silly. We got to focus on what's truly important here. That's the Biden regime's answer to all this.
Well, of course, the way healthcare works down there is different from how it works up here, but it's where I am, it's moved past just being incompetent. Now it's becoming more obvious that this is malicious. This is just fuck you stuff.
Yeah.
And
Greed and selfishness and not giving a damn about anyone other than who you deem important. But here's the thing, they're whining about the crime rate because of people smashing and grabbing, quote unquote. You notice it died out after Christmas. I think if we went back like to shows last year, you'd see quite a few of them summertime and before. I said it's going to get really bad in the winter. COVID's going to get bad and people are going to be going crazy robbing everything they can because the holidays are there. Nobody listens to me though. Common sense, right? I was saying if they didn't give another stimulus or do the unemployment or whatever, give people money, the crime will go down, right?
Yep.
Duh. Give people their unemployment back. Some people are working. If they can stay at work safely, then that's fine. People are just crowding into stores, man. They had a damn parade the other day over here. Streets was all packed with people. Not here, but I saw it, I heard a lot about it.
Rose Parade.
Yeah. They're having sporting events happening all over. It's ridiculous, man.
Well, what's happening where I am in Canada is since the very beginning, the government here was a big fan of the Great Barrington Declaration. They learned very quickly not to, make it obvious, especially when they spoke in public. But everything they've done has basically aligned with that. And now, with Omicron, it's just if you're outside, if you're anywhere, assume somebody there has it. That's what they're saying now. So, yet there are still people that are unvaccinated. There are still people that are not eligible for a booster if they want one. And now they're just saying, well, it's everywhere anyway. So, they're not helping at all. And the testing has basically disappeared. When I say it's malicious, I had to make an appointment through the government, because that's how it works here, through Alberta Health Services, to get a PCR test for my mother. And it's changed. It's not what it was like not that long ago. Now, basically, you have to give all your information right up front before you even get a question about symptoms or contact or anything else. So they've made sure they have record of everybody who comes around. So no screenshots, no this, no that, because you were here, we can prove it. And then you have to answer about 6 questions, and then they decide if they'll allow you to take the next step to actually booking a PCR test. They've just made it so hard for people, and especially for seniors and people who aren't computer savvy. If you want to do it another way, there is a 3-digit phone number that you call in the province, and you can talk to a human and you can find out. The wait time has been around 2 to 5 hours on that phone line for 2 or 3 weeks. They just won't do anything to fix it.
Man. Yeah, here
So, yeah.
getting the test is ridiculously hard. You can order them and pay for them. I hear they just raised the prices on them mysteriously. Biden supposedly sometime in January soon will be sending out so many millions of them or whatever. But I don't. It's too little, too late. This dude should have came into office ready to combat this. Like, I'm going to reinstate the disability or unemployment, and more stimulus is coming, UBI, till we get through this, get vaccinated, get healthy so we can get back to work or whatever. And we're raising minimum wages, and we're eliminating college debt, and we're going to house people. Man, he could be president for another 4 years.
Yep.
Even though he has warmonger racist past, why don't he redeem himself? Because he's a fascist piece of scum, just like the last guy and the guy before him and the guy before him and the guy before him, and I can go on about 50-something more times.
But the way the playbook works is you never do all that good stuff right when you get there, even if you promised it, because you're never going to be able to match it again. It's all downhill from there. And you got to keep some bargaining chips for later on when you need them. That's the reality.
That's a dumb reality.
Yeah, but, that's the game.
I seen something on Twitter, or maybe it was Instagram, I don't know. But someone it said it says we all need to vote harder. We just need to vote harder.
Harder. I'm not sure what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
It was sarcasm. It was a play, like, how they say if something doesn't work, pray harder.
Oh, okay.
So they said since it's not working, just vote harder and everything will be okay.
Okay, I get it. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, why not? What the fuck?
Yeah. Voting.
Have you heard about anything for January 6th this year?
I heard a whole bunch of stuff about Trump is going to do a speech and then he canceled the speech or something. That seems to be the most important thing. Maybe he canceled the speech so he could lead the revolution.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I can see Trump strapping himself up with guns, shirtless, leading a whole bunch of white supremacists into victory and battle. I mean, he's an alpha male, right? That's what they call him.
Yeah, with his alpha diapers.
Alpha diapers. Dude, that's because on the battlefield, you don't have time to go. So you just strap on a diaper and go to war. That just shows how you Canadians don't truly know how to do warfare.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
heavy.
You know, there's this whole thing, the progressives, liberals, whatever you're calling them this week, are talking about now. Because Trump, Trump's probably not going to be president again. And as time goes on, he's going to be more and more irrelevant. His own fan base is starting to turn on him because he said, get a vaccine.
Yep.
So now they're like, Trump was phase one. Somebody just like him, but smarter and smoother is going to come in and be. But it's not going to be a Democrat. It's going to be Republican for sure.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why these people don't see the fascism in their own parties. And Republicans don't see it either. They'll tell you the Democrats are the fascist ones.
Well, I think there's something else that people have to acknowledge. And the problem right now is just like in the past, in other countries on different continents, there is way too many people that are either meh or okay with fascism. That's the fucking problem. It's too acceptable. Nobody wants to talk about that.
You don't feel the need to be ruled with an iron fist?
Not generally, no.
I do. The more authoritarian, the better, buddy. No, there's a lot of people that are kind of like that. They don't say it like that, but they're like that. They justify it in some weird way, usually.
But they won't get vaccinated. Because that's my freedoms. So, this is the great nexus of idiocy with the whole deal there. It's like freedom, freedom, freedom. Anybody I don't like, they don't have rights. What the fuck? That's called fascism. There's just too many. There's too many people that have a mindset where they think they are just patriot central, and it's just fascism, except this time it's in English. That's it.
Yeah, there's literally people, Democrats, or their supporters, who are like cheering on the thought of not giving health care to anyone who's not been vaccinated. Like they're just, no, you give health care to everybody regardless, and then you try to educate them. That's a real slippery slope right there. Healthcare should be a human right regardless of how stupid you are.
Well, there's a lot of different ways to interpret that. I mean, yes, it is reflex backlash. It is saying they're doing it, we can do it too. But there's also people who will get the impression that some sort of eugenics is okay.
Yeah.
Don't need that. Don't fucking need that.
Oh, new cart, Snowman. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of genetics.
Wow, that's a fucking segue.
Plant eugenics. Never mind. I was giving the update on the cart situation because I just ran out of the other one for those people just tuning in.
Okay, well, then I'll reciprocate. Today it's black soda OG.
Nice. I'm still, as far as the flour, I'm still on the what was it? I can't even think of it. Oh, Jungle Cake. Fire. I sent you a picture of that, Glenn.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and fiery. And then the wax, I got this ice cream cake and Hellfire OG. I've been going back and forth between those. So many wonderful weed products.
Well,
You notice I'm not taking mushrooms before the show lately?
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, that last time was just like, I was barely going to make it through the show. I was talking about aliens or something. It was logical, though. I thought about it after.
Okay.
I remember, yeah, it was something really logical and cool. But random. So,
Different.
yeah, that's why. I'll wait till after the show for the shroomies.
Different. Just
Yeah. Oh, a cop in Houston was driving 80-something miles an hour and killed a dude, ran him over on the sidewalk or curb or something. I mentioned that before this show.
yeah, because that's always cool in a fucking city. Like, man, just like you say all the time. Imagine if that was a banger who did that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we were saying before the show. Imagine some gangster shooting at some other gangster, bullet flies through the wall and hits some 14-year-old girl. Do you think he's going to get the, the bullet went through the wall. He was aiming at his rival. He wasn't aiming at the little girl. No one could notice she was behind the wall. And this guy passes out turkeys at Thanksgiving with his hood, and a lot of times he'll hand out money to a homeless person going on in the store. He's not a bad person. He feels really bad about this. Do they ever get some kind of,
No.
that kind of footage, that kind of media coverage?
No.
OG was trying to live the right way, but he ran into some rivals and the shootout occurred.
Yeah, nobody could foresee this happening. It's tragic.
It was just a Crip involved shooting and occurred, and in the process, a bullet hit a 14-year-old girl.
Now sports.
Yeah. But he feels really bad about it, and the Crip and Union is backing him up.
That's it right there. That's the
blue.
whole deal.
Back to blue.
Fuck.
I'm sorry to any Bloods listening. It was just a joke. I love everybody equally except the pigs. Yeah, back in the day, it was like crazy like that. Now it's just a bunch of little groups of cats roaming the streets. It's not like it used to be the same.
Yeah, now it's the LAPD and the LA sheriffs.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the way the police are, they mimic the gangs. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yeah. Yeah, they got nothing to fear.
Like, how you there supposed to be stopping some crime going on, and then you mimic the crime and the criminals is doing it, quote unquote criminals. But you're getting paid tax dollars and are immune to any kind of repercussions for your actions. That's what I keep bringing up the Alex Salazar old interviews I did way back because they're still relevant. The like he had said, what's the difference between a cop killing somebody and a gangbanger killing somebody? And we came to the conclusion that the cop we pay for with our taxes. We pay for their defense. We pay for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not some PD that the taxes pay for. I mean, they get a great defense. And the whole government backs them. And they're immune to most things. If a gangster shoots somebody, eventually he's going to get caught, shot, or end up in jail. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Something's going to happen. Most cats ain't going to be able to keep going on with that lifestyle forever. But these cops shoot somebody, back on the job, shoot somebody else, get transferred, shoot somebody else. I seen a video this morning, I think, by that dude Always Film the Police.
Yeah.
Not William Film the Police LA. This dude's named Always Film the Police. and he's got a channel, and he was playing a video of some cop harassing him and writing tickets and all this, and then he looked up the cop. He was in Beverly Hills PD doing this, harassing him and following him around, writing him a ticket, laughing about, right, looking all smug while finding him because he was filming him. So then he looked up this cop, and it turns out this dude murdered a naked man working for LAPD a couple years ago, and now he just transfers over to Beverly Hills PD. I mean, it doesn't work like that with hoods. Gangster can't be like, oh, I'm going to go, I murdered somebody here, so I'll just go bang for another hood over here, and it'll be okay. Everything's swept under the rug.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Gangsters can't go take cameras down from a whole block and spend all day cleaning up their crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's a huge difference. No one should get shot. No one should be shooting people up. But we should treat them the same, the pigs, the same as we do anybody else who murders people. They shouldn't be above anything. They should be held to the same standards that me or any other person, even a higher standard maybe, but at least the same standards, right? But somehow that's not the case. And it's ridiculous. Them cats shot, them pigs shot how many people last week? 5 people?
Yeah.
LAPD, not the whole nation. LAPD shot 5 people last week or the week before or something.
In the holiday season.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, the thing is, you know, if there wasn't so much other fucking bullshit going on, too, you think that people would be able to focus a little better, but I don't think it's ever going to get any more focused by the time we're done with this COVID thing. No. You know? I mean, what is shit going to look like in another couple years? This is freaky, man.
Yeah.
But
dude, we have like 500,000 people dead here. I think more people now have died under Biden than had Trump. Nobody's outraged about it. Police are killing, nobody's outraged. Why aren't we in the streets now? Just because it's some Democrat? It doesn't make sense. These people are so... Man, it's like some Republican. You could talk crap about the Democrats and they're agreeing with you. Say the same thing about them, just as real, just as factual. No, you're wrong. You're the real fascist. Democrats are total opposite. You can say stuff about Republicans all day long, they'll agree with you. Then you say something about like Joe Biden's a warmonger, or he wrote the racist Clinton crime bill. They're like, oh, he said that was a mistake.
A mistake. 40
years, and then when he's running for president, you know that was a mistake. Come on now. He just had a change of heart when he entered the campaign.
Oh,
what a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it didn't take.
I find it really amazing that you hear absolutely nothing anywhere about how people were screaming that Trump was going to be the nominee for the Republicans 18 months before it really happened. You didn't hear shit about Biden until what, 3 months before the Democratic convention? And nobody asks any questions about this? You know? I mean, that's just not how shit works in the States. But, you know, hey, whatever. Look, Squirtle.
Yeah, it's just mass corruption, man, and the people are just like so. I guess they're just callous to it now. They don't even care. It just, unless something's just, like I said, he's outrageous. He's like a clown or a circus happening or a car crash. So unless it's that outrageous, they're not going to jump on it. The
Yeah,
subtle
I
fascists
guess.
can take over. A subtle, smart, doesn't matter which party they're from. They could do a lot of damage. Every president, every administration or regime or whatever, they do damage. More and more damage. Because all that damage builds up. It's like chipping away at a big wall. Eventually you're going to get through it. Or bring it down, in this case.
Well, I mean, it's just like the powers of the presidency of the United States. I mean, it's over the last 40, 50 years, there's been lots of times when the challenger to the White House wants to fucking rant and rave about the abuse of presidential power. Then if they win, do they do anything about it? No, they probably add more on top of that because I'm president now, so it's fucking cool.
Like, what can a Republican say about Biden that they don't like? Like nothing. So they gotta go, he's a socialist. Or he's sleepy, he's got dementia, or because they can't say anything bad because they support that crap. And the Democrats, on the other hand, they actually pretend to not support it. How dare Trump do this? Let's get out in the streets. But then when Biden do the same thing, there's still concentration camps. They still got kids in them.
Yep.
Police are still murdering people, especially people of color at a higher rate. I mean, so much terrible stuff is happening, but it's okay because Biden's here now. COVID's worse than last year. Like I said, we just passed the 500,000 mark on the deaths. But let's open it all back up because it's good for the economy. Who cares how many more people die? Biden's here. Like dick riding Joe Biden.
Well, this is pretty much the entire Western world has got that part of it down too. I mean, it was March 2020 when I said this entire thing is going to depend on revenue over public health. And nothing's changed, man. And it's not going to change. I mean, the reality is, if you want to really end COVID-19, then I think there's like 300 and some million people in Africa who could use like a first dose of vaccine. That might help out. I mean, you just can't ignore entire parts of the world and think you're going to erase it. It's just not going to happen. It never does.
Yeah.
But that's all about revenue. If there was some alien world that was willing to pay us to vaccinate all them, I imagine we could probably get it done. But otherwise, what, because they're people too? Well, I don't think our strategic planning has that on the card. Sorry.
Yeah, they're poor people and their skin isn't even the right color, so oh well. That's how they I mean, I did a tweet like a week ago where I put a Bible verse and people didn't even get I just changed one word. And I don't think people got it. They were like, "Oh yeah, that's inspirational." I put, "For God so loved America that he sent his only begotten son," that blah blah blah. I don't think they caught on to that. I think that's just what they think.
Yeah, exactly. He just drew a few out.
Oh man.
But hey, everything has a shelf life. A lot of shit does get recycled. So, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. And I mean, people don't seem to understand that the way I see it, when the Delta wave happened, there was a lot more death, there's a lot more suffering, and there's quite a strain on healthcare. We're barely over that, and now Omicron, which is like 10 times easier to get. It doesn't seem to be nearly as deadly, but we have no idea what that's going to do to public health in another 5 or 10 years if like 80% of the population had it. You know? I mean, in another 20 years, there could be all kinds of people with problems because this wasn't handled more effectively.
Yeah.
When we had the fucking chance. But, you know, I ain't going to be running for office in 20 years. I'm running next year, so I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's a huge problem as well. So, but I mean, right now, the issue isn't that all these people are going to die and the hospital's going to be full. The issue now is they're canceling surgeries again because so many people are coming in for shorter periods. Like the intensive care numbers really aren't moving much, but hospital admissions are going straight up. So that's just going to make sure all the staff get sick. And then what? What happens when they can't run entire wards in a hospital because too many of the staff are sick with Omicron? This didn't have to happen. This didn't have to happen. But now it's not that it's a issue of severity that's taking up resources. Now it's just a quantity and a lack of staff. So you can't keep having wave after wave without shit falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah,
But hey, don't get in a car accident. Don't have to go to the hospital. Just hope that luck is on your side for a while.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's lines at the clinics. There's ambulances coming to the convalescent hospitals more and more often, just like last year around this time. A lot of people are sick. A lot of people been sick the last like month and a half. I mean, I'm hoping it gets warmer and it doesn't spread as much. Hoping I don't get sick. I've been wearing a mask and trying to stay 6 feet from people, stay away from anybody who's sick or test positive. Always sanitizing, washing my hands when I can. It's man, everyone should be doing what they can. Then you got these other idiots on the other side that won't even get vaccinated because it's going to change their DNA and turn them into lizard people, and they'll be like Hillary Clinton and want to eat babies or something. I don't know. They believe some wacky thing like that. Although I hit all the buzzwords, I just don't know how to connect the dots because it's wackadoo as shit.
Well, there are just simply too many people these days who will not do what Group X thinks is a good idea. That's it. That's all it takes. The people I don't like are doing this, so I'm not gonna. Fuck that.
Yeah. Plus, if you get your news from YouTube conspiracy videos, you're probably not getting something that's too factual for the most part.
Well, see, we discussed that before the show too.
What, the media?
Well, I saw some sort of poll for American
Oh, yeah.
tweeners, basically. I can't remember the exact range, but I think it was something like 9 to 14 or 15. And what do you want to be when you grow up? And the winning answer, the most popular answer this year was they wanted to be a YouTube star.
Yeah, next year will be a TikTok star.
I think that's pretty sad.
Yeah. But I don't know, I argued it earlier that back when television was prevalent, people wanted to be movie stars and rock stars or whatever. So I don't know. You said the number would probably be lower. We had a whole discussion about this earlier before this show, and I just don't want to go back into it because I can't.
Well, I mean, I just remember when I was a kid, and it was always the extreme stuff that made people famous. Like you wanted to be an astronaut, or you wanted to be a veterinarian, like Jane Goodall type shit. That was always popular for years, for entire generations. And
Yeah,
now it's YouTube.
YouTube star.
Well, I guess generally it is accessible compared to astronaut, that's for sure.
I don't know
But you have to be a Google now.
how many astronauts have 1 million subscribers.
A million's probably too low for astronaut level at Google Planet.
Oh man, I wonder how many followers Buzz Lightyear has.
That entire premise right there is just enough.
A fictional character having followers.
And lots of them.
Lots and lots of them. So yeah, I don't know. Do we have anything else we should be going over?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do what I told you, Glenn. I'll just tell everybody else now too. This is a big reveal. I'm just gonna take a little note every time something pisses me off or I see something interesting throughout the week, and then we'll have a list to go for, so we could at least be a little more organized rather than just bouncing all over the place. Which is totally Glenn's fault, not mine. He doesn't stick to the script. Glenn's a freestyle actor, improv only, and I'm I try to go with the script as much as possible.
Yeah, my 600 hours would definitely prove that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to try to remember to take notes of things because, just by the time I get off work, I can't really think about everything happening throughout the last week since we've been here sometimes. So I'll try to do better, Glenn, for you and our millions or billions of listeners.
A new method of reference.
Yeah. So cool. Well,
That's your New Year's resolution.
there you go. I didn't even know I had one, and I did.
And the Pope heard it.
Oh, man. Damn Pope. So, yeah. I guess that's it then.
All right.
So thank you, Glenn, and thanks to all our billions upon billions upon billions of listeners, and we'll probably be back next week. And bye.